Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Very warm welcome to you, dear customers, partners, and employees. Very proudly, with a deep respect, I'm standing here in our brand new Light Forum in a refurbished building, what was the origin of Zumtobel, where you have seen that we are celebrating 70 years anniversary today, or this year. And in addition, we celebrate over 90 years of our brand Thorn. Looking back, we can show many highlights, what we have accomplished together with you, what we have driven together, where we have created new light experiences and innovation. Our aim is to start with this new Light Forum, the kickoff of at least the next 70 years, together with you, to bring new technologies, new light experiences into the world and add value to our customers. On that empty space here, we have created the unique chance to showcase all our brands, from Thorn over Zumtobel and AC/DC and Tridonic, but on the other hand also to showcase all the applications and the new experiences what we have. Originally, after a year of construction, we planned to do the physical opening together with you here in Dornbirn, but unfortunately the Corona pandemic situation was not allowing this, and was not allowing it in November, what was the second attempt. So I'm very happy that now we are able to open it together with you in a digital way, what will pave the way to the future. I would like now to take you with me into the journey of the Light Forum, to give you a glimpse what we have created here, what is the impression, and what you can experience once we are able to meet and you are able to visit us here in Dornbirn. What you see here is the exhibition space, the main entrance of the Light Forum, with the light walls in different color temperatures. All our applications follow the so-called Zumtobel Group Cube, where in each cube we tell the story, we show the brand, we show the application. The floater having the ultimate lighting experience, the main stage for our presentations, for our exchange with the people. Applications by brand, what you see here is an example of Thorn. But also the space for special products, for highlights, for masterpieces, to show what light can do, what forms can do, and what experience we can demonstrate. Another example of the Zumtobel spectrum in office, but also on a system level, the whole emergency system setup. Very proud on the auditorium, the place on an 80-meter long staircase to mingle, to exchange the view, the place where we meet. But also for those who prefer a more relaxed way, can enjoy the 60-meter bar area to create new ideas. The retail cube is another example. another design. And what we don't want to miss are the annual reports represented here, Stefan Sagmeisters from the year 2001. Light and inspiration for ideas, light, which is our life. Innovation, ladies and gentlemen, is the driver and our inspiration to bring new things into the world. Here we use nature as an example. Here in the picture, the cooperation with James Tyrrell on the skyscape, and here in the Alps close to our headquarters, but also inspiration coming from people inside the company, but outside, from you, from your customer, from our customers, and from our partners. Innovative lighting solutions have been always the base for the new things and are based on the dynamic relationship between people, nature, and technology. And I think this mindset is and has been, since the beginning, the DNA of the brands, of the Zumtobel brand as well as the Thorn brand. And for 70 or over 90 years, we bring light into urban spaces, public places, work in residential environments. And it's my strong belief that spotlight on ideas and knowledge, sharing this knowledge with an open space like this Light Forum is the base for the future. Originally, in March 2019, we have decided to refurbish one of the original facilities here into the new Light Forum, also with the aim of a sustainable reuse of a building, but also to be part of the city infrastructure moving forward. It's a place where people come together, where we exchange experiences, deepen the design, the knowledge, and create something new together. Today, I'm very happy that we are able to launch our campus concept, where we bring two different waves to life. The physical Light Forum, as you have seen in the first impression with the video before, is the physical experience where we show what we are able to do in light. And here I would like to extend a special thanks to Herbert Resch, who is our Chief Design and Architect, together with Kjetil Thorsen and also Patrick Lead from Snøhetta, with whom we cooperated on this Light Forum and who made this design so beautiful. In conjunction with the new world, we expand this concept into the digital world, enabling much more people to participate. I'm also happy to see so many participating in this event, in this kickoff event, where we can make knowledge available to many more and where we develop innovations together. Sure, a little bit driven by the pandemic situation, but this hybrid concept is the future setup as an ideal mixture between physical and digital experience. But I do not want to forget that the new ground here is based on established values, what are also the DNA of the company. Our three values: the passion, the performance, and the partnership. The partnership with you as our customers, as our partners. The performance where we always strive for the best, for the excellence. And the passion, which is our light to create the best light experiences with great enthusiasm and with great energy. And this results into combining the physical and the digital platform into one. And our setup, starting here with the headquarters, but then rolled out into the centers what we have around the world, consisting of 3 pillars. One, the light experience, best of course in the physical form, in the interaction with you as our customers, but also combined with the digital means, the education and the co-creation content. What does this mean? We will have, with this beautiful environment, the possibility to continue keynotes, like we have the first one today, with experts, with architects, with representatives from different industries. We will have exhibitions and hopefully also, when the pandemic situation allows it, curated tours again. The second one, which is extremely important to us, for you as our customers, but also to our employees, is that we share the knowledge on new ideas from different perspectives, and that we enable everyone to achieve the best performance in their daily works, and to add value to you as our customers and you to your customers. The partnership programs, what are in place already for many years, the webinars, what is a complete new platform since March, what we have rolled out very successfully, combined with technical trainings, application trainings. In the final stage, we will have an empty space also for workshop rooms, for education rooms, for meeting rooms, where we do these trainings, for both insights, but also for companies whom we offer the space from the outside. And third, and maybe becoming one of the keys, the co-creation space. I strongly believe partnership with you as our customers is the core for creating new things. As a single company alone, a single discipline alone, cannot do it anymore. We are open for the public, for creating new products, for new project designs. We are open for cross-industry collaboration and also for scientific cooperations. Today, as a next step, I would like you to show a few examples, to be exact 2, out of this empty portfolio what we have created here. One, the Night Tune, a fantastic innovative product and a mutual inspiration between people and nature, the Night Tune product, which will be presented to you by Michel Reple. And another one, what goes in the other pillar on cooperation, the Zumtobel Spectrum, what we have co-created together with the #1 LED partner in the world, Nichia, who basically gave us the possibility to create a new spectrum with completely new possibility to improve the quality of light and the experience of light. With that, for now, I would like to hand over to Michel, who will give you an inspirational insight into this fantastic product what we are offering.
Today, I would like to talk to you about an important subject that triggers a lot our society nowadays. But not just our society, but us as human beings. Take a look at myself, for example. My name is Michel Reple. I am Brazilian, coming from a city near São Paulo. And we have topics today, such as like light pollution, how to see the stars at night. And you can imagine that in a city like São Paulo, this is quite hard because of all this obtrusive light, spill light going on. And for that, I ask you, when was the last time that you saw a dark sky full of stars? Here in Dornbirn and Vorarlberg, if you go up to the mountains, let's say, in your ski vacation, or if you visit us in our Zoomtober Group Light Forum, you can see that, and it's quite easy to have this connection to nature. But imagine if you come from a big city, such as I do, it's quite hard to have this connectivity towards it. That's why, thinking about that, and also other topics that involve the ecosystem, we created our new technology for the outdoors, how to lighten it up. It's called Night Tune, and it's mainly a mix of light intensity and the color that we can set it in the night. And what is exactly Night Tune is and how it works, you're going to see in this video.
How can we light the outdoors while respecting nature? Outdoor lighting can work magic. Open up urban spaces after dark. Make residential areas feel safer. However, we must be careful not to overuse light outdoors. We have a responsibility to protect dark skies, to minimize the impact on people, and to respect the nocturnal ecosystem. Artificial lighting must prevent spill light. It should not affect animals and insects' behavior by impairing their ability to navigate or leaving them vulnerable to predators. How can outdoor lighting balance the needs of people and the environment in a responsible way? Thorn introduces a new lighting technology, Night Tune, giving the right amount and color of light to respect the nocturnal biodiversity. Night Tune adjusts color temperature in line with light output. It works by mixing light from warm, 2200 Kelvin, and cool, 4000 Kelvin LEDs. By controlling the two groups of LEDs separately, color temperatures ranging from 2200 Kelvin to 3000 Kelvin can be obtained at different levels of brightness. In the evening, when there is still some vehicles or pedestrians moving, Night Tune provides a moderate color temperature. During the middle of the night when roads are quiet, the output of the cool LEDs is reduced, so that the light becomes dimmer and warmer. It creates a more comfortable atmosphere while saving energy, preserving safety perception and respecting the nocturnal ecosystem. As morning approaches and traffic returns to the streets, the output of the cool LEDs increases to provide brighter, cooler light that meets the higher safety demands. The Plurio Indirect can be equipped with Night Tune to perfect color mixing to enhance the nighttime ambience. Night Tune breathes new life into spaces, supports outdoor activity, and respects the nocturnal biodiversity.
Now, with Night Tune, we have the possibility to lighten up the cities after dark in a different way. And not just that, but making people feel safe when they explore the city at night, and also protecting nature and preserving the natural ecosystem there. And for that, Thorn, within the Zoomtober Group, we have more than 90 years experience in lighting up the outdoors, connecting with nature and having this connection towards technology and people as well. And what is in for you? What can we work together there to live that? Yes, so not just to talk about it. We are happy to receive you once we can here in Dornbirn with the New Light Forum, which we have the experience here for us to have some hands-on sessions and see it in reality how this actually works out. And as well, we provide regional events in which we come to you in a way that we can show this technology and work together there. We use a lot also for project solutions, augmented reality apps, in a way that we can see virtually how the solution works. Because it's not just about the technology, but it's a combination of the technology with the right product for us to have light exactly when and where we need it, for us to protect our nocturnal ecosystem and the biodiversity there. And on the other way around, if you have a look at our digital aspect of it, how we can interact in these times, and also in general, if you are more interested about this technology, we are offering a webinar available in our website platform. It's going to happen soon, in December. And we are happy to have you there because we're going to go deeper in detail of how this technology actually works and what is the advantage for you, lighting designer, landscape architect, or other people that are interested about how to make our portion on this tuning into nature and to connect again to the biodiversity ecosystem. And as last, the important is to work together. This partnership that we have strongly within the Zumtobel group. We have our lighting designers internally that we can work together finding the best solution for your project, and also we work as well with partners so that we can spread the news out there and show the benefits of this night tune technology. And for that, we can do our part also in the sustainability aspect of a city in a way that we can show the sky, the stars at night, such as in São Paulo, so that we connect better to nature together with people and the technology for us to make better spaces for people, places, and the environment. Now we talked about the visible light and how we can change it and direct it. But if you go a little bit a step further here and we say, what is light if it's invisible and when the invisible actually matters? So that's why I'm going to present to my colleague Stefan, and thank you very much for your attention.
Have you ever thought about why natural daylight feels so much better than even the best artificial daylight or the artificial light? The secret is, it is because of the invisible part. My name is Stefan Bildstein, and I will show you this invisible part exactly thanks to Zumtobel Spectrum. What you have just seen was an artistic interpretation of the evolution of the human eye since the beginning of mankind, from the early fireplaces until the very hectic times of today. And I'm telling you no secret when I'm telling you that we've been exposed to much more daylight back in the days than it's today. And it's also no secret when I'm telling you that today we are spending 90% of our time indoors, doing our job, with our family, even during dinner time. This is the reason why our inner body clock is no more synchronized with the circadian rhythm. This can cause mental problems, tiredness, but also some health problems. In context to that, the LED had a great success run the last couple of years. It opened doors we could not even think about, and fluorescent conventional lighting almost disappeared from the market. The only thing was, the main focus was on energy efficiency and also to bringing down costs. We forgot about a very essential thing. We forgot about us, the human beings. And that's exactly why it's time for change, and it's time for Zumtobel Spectrum. What you can see here on this graph is natural daylight at 5,800 Kelvin. That's most likely the best light you can consume on this planet, still. In context to that, you see the graph from one of the high-quality LEDs today, even CRI 90, and you see this very high blue peak in the beginning and this melanopic gap at the azure part at about 480 nanometers. How do we solve that? Exactly, with Zumtobel Spectrum. The third graph is Zumtobel Spectrum with 4,000 Kelvin, and you see immediately this blue peak is cut away, and we even filled this melanopic gap at 480 nanometers in the azure part. And we are almost 100% synchronized with the natural daylight. And again, that is possible with zoom-to-bus spectrum with 4000 Kelvin, because we can use the color temperatures we love so much in our offices or in schools. How can we get the experience of the full spectrum? We heard before we have a great light forum here in Dornbirn, and we even have done mock-ups here thanks to the new Lightfield 3, and we can show you, thanks to a spectrometer, already the invisible and what makes the difference in that quality. To make this experience also possible for you already now, we developed a zoom-to-bus experience kit, which will be available soon in the countries on a lower scale, and you can experience zoom-to-bus spectrum already there right now. For sure, knowledge is very important, especially because we're talking about a technology. We did already many webinars, and we will continue to do much more webinars to keep on going with our training sessions. The speakers will be there, experts will be there, and you can raise your questions and you get your live answers. For sure, we're also planning our roadshows, our local training once the pandemic allows this, and we will continue this in the near future. And please check out the landing page of Spectrum to pre-register already there. Last but not least, we heard it before, partnership is one of the essential things what makes this company, and it's so essential to mention that zoom-to-bus spectrum was an idea of Zumtobel, and we have a patent on that. But without a strong partner like Nichia, a high-quality LED manufacturer, this would not be possible. By the way, Nichia was the inventor of the white LED. We have also great partnerships and cooperations with research institutions to make further case studies and other research. And last but not least, it leads me to my summary, and I have to say, it's time for change, it's time for zoom-to-bus spectrum, and invisible matters much more today than ever before. Thank you so much, and I will hand over again to Mr. Felder.
Yeah, dear ladies and gentlemen, I hope with these two examples we could create more interest and more appetite for more, because we have much more to share with you in the coming weeks and in the coming months. Now I would like to come back to our Light Forum and to the key contributors who created this fantastic environment, what we were able to share with you today in the video. Unfortunately not live. And in the picture you see here our partner from Snøhetta, with whom Zumtobel has over 20 years working and cooperation relationship, with Kjetil Thorsen, Patrick Lüth, and I also would like to address Andreas Glatzel. Those later two are from the Snøhetta office in Innsbruck, who together with Herbert Resch and the team inside created this fantastic environment here out of the old building what we have on a sustainable matter. And I'm very proud and honored that today, as a starting signal for a keynote series, I can welcome via Skype Kjetil Thorsen, who will give you a wonderful example on sustainability, and you will understand why we choose Snøhetta to help us here to create this. So welcome to the audience, Kjetil. I hope technically everything works and you can hear me.
I can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kjetil. So the audience is yours.
So good morning, Dornbirn, all onliners from a pretty stormy Oslo here at this end. 70 and 90 are pretty substantial numbers, and I can only hope and wait until we as Snøhetta get to the same age. I think it's astonishing how much can be achieved during these 70 and 90 years, and we'd like to continue this contribution together with you. But today, as we've already heard, we are in a situation of change. And this change needs to be dealt with hands-on. We need to show examples and we need to move these issues further. So our future sustainability for societies is a strong interest shared between the Zumtobel Group and Snøhetta. In 1987 already, the Norwegian Gro Harlem Brundtland in the Brundtland Commission created a very important document. It was called Our Common Future. And in the chairman's foreword, Gro Harlem Brundtland's foreword, she says very specifically a couple of things that I believe are still very, very important. The environment is where we all live, and development is what we all do in attempting to improve our lot within that abode. And these two are inseparable. Now, if we look at that, in the connection between social, environmental, and economical sustainability, we have a package of inseparable elements, which are all part of our future development when it comes to research, innovation, and production. But we established ourselves also in 1987, so all of a sudden we were driven by this, our common future, when we were looking at our very first projects with very much special focus on how we wanted to move the world forward. We looked at the very beginning, social sustainability as the mother of all sustainabilities. Because if you don't have a political system which you can follow, stable education, equalities, access to the goods of this world, then you will not, maybe, as we see it, at the end, be able to create neither environmental nor economical sustainability. So when we started, at the very beginning in 1989, when we won the competition of the Alexandria Library, we set out to try to look at architecture as a tool for creating social sustainability at a level that would encourage the two other sustainabilities. Now, as a comparison here with the Alexandria Library many, many years ago, and the Calgary Library that is newly opened. So you can imagine the city of Alexandria being this Mediterranean city on the African coast, trying to establish a different symbol, trying to establish a different platform for how the public could meet. This building became a driver, not only for the university and for the public per se, but it was also an example of how we started educating and bringing together different companies from around the world. The procurement method in itself was created by bringing together companies from around the world in 50% contracts. That led to a knowledge transfer in many directions, and it gave us the possibility to evolve and develop not only the introduction of new materials into Egypt, but it also gave us the possibility to fight for certain positions when we were talking about public accessibility. Now, the big library space is a meeting space, and this particular space had to be created by the workers who built this building. Now, by providing clean water, toilets, XL1, which is a power drink, food, security issues like hard hats and hard shoes to all the people here on the building site, we were able to create at the very beginning of this project a very unique sort of public ownership. And that public ownership was also driven further by educating some of the craftsmen, the stonemasons, 20 young stonemasons that we educated during this period of construction. And all of that ended up with the people in Alexandria during the Spring Revolution, understanding that this was their building. This was their platform for future education. So during the Spring Revolution in Egypt, the group of people that protected the building 24/7 actually made a difference because the building never closed. And we had continuously during this period the gathering of the public into the building, understanding continuous education without any breaks. Similarly, this library brings a solution to a completely different problem. There were no sites left for this library, so we had to build it on top of a railway. And by doing that, you include and repair the city in a way that wouldn't be possible unless you have the attitude of wanting to bring a building onto a site like this. It's all about inclusion in public spaces and how you bring the daylight in and how you let people in to understand that this is a meeting place for more than those just reading books. So libraries are in a huge development for understanding how they can develop their relationship to the larger public, how their interpretation is being seen in smaller and larger societies, and how they actually contribute back to their local conditions. So if you take this into account and say, if you can do it with libraries, maybe you can even do it with opera houses or cultural buildings. So when we did the opera house in Oslo, we had a similar attitude of trying to include and create access to a building that would not normally be accessed by such a wide group of users and inhabitants of the city of Oslo. It simply became this collective place which you could walk on, sit on, touch, and by that own. So in the sense of how you deal with public spaces, and we had and just heard that more than 90% of our time is spent indoor. So maybe architecture can not only provide great indoors, but maybe it also can make you move outside. So the Opera House became this collective memory of places where people would sit and gather and play and be on their own as singulars in the plural, understanding and how to use these different situations. I think if you take this into account and you talk about social sustainability per se, you have to open for the random aspects of life. You have to make sure that what you provide is not fully programmed. You don't know what is going to happen, and I think this first video is going to show you some of that. So what happens when you transfer similar principles which are human and generic into different cultural contexts, like the new opera house we've designed for Shanghai? What happens when you give the possibility of the public in a similar way to move specifically forward and be able to touch the building in a different way? Because when you touch it, when you sit on it, you own it. So this next video is going to show you just some few elements related exactly to this. So architecture can be quiet, it can be noisy, it can be ugly, it can be beautiful, it can be fat, long, thin. But it's only architecture if it is for us, the people, and for the environment. If we look at education, that then starts becoming this important element in trying to understand where we push the knowledge and how we interact between knowledge generation and education. Architecture also becomes a tool. The Ryerson in Toronto is, of course, one of these examples where we try to push the aspect of outdoor into the building. So this building is a series of plazas, similar layers and levels pushed up into the building with the free possibility of the students to shape and to use the building again 24/7. It's an open, accessible indoor-outdoor situation where each floor can be dealt with by the students themselves, very autonomic in the sense that they can reshape these rooms each semester based on their own needs. So here, for instance, you have the beach. And the beach is a hangout place for the students, and they use it and spend it simply the way they want, continuously at the level where you are. So I think to some extent, it is very important for us to understand how these things interact when you come to the garden, when you come to the academy in Bergen, and you see how art education actually continues to help us with the things that we're dealing with on a continuous basis. It is all about the students and how they gather. It's all about how they work in their environments. It's how you allow them to take ownership of these buildings, of these rooms, of these spaces, down into the most individual level. So what about public space? Can public space continue to build upon the issues that we're dealing with when we talk about social sustainability? Of course they can. Our refurbishment of Times Square is one example. To the left you see before, and to the right you see after. It's all about letting the people in. It's all about creating new spaces in the city where people have not been standing before, where they have not seen their city from before. So all of a sudden you open up to these completely new activities that happen when you give space back to the public. All of a sudden you're in a situation where people go into themselves and understand that, yes, this Times Square is my square. This is where I can look at myself from a different perspective. I can look at the city from a different perspective. And all of a sudden, we have all the users in New York City and all the inhabitants of New York City coming back and using Times Square. So all these elements are the tools that we're using when we try to create long-term stability and social development. Or like here with the fish market in Mutra in Muscat in Oman, where all of a sudden a structure opens up for the self-defined fishermen bringing their fish back in and selling that to the public. It's not all of them sell that much, obviously, but simply the fact that they own this place and can actually sell their own fish from this public space gives them the possibility of further development and the development of their own community. Now, of course, we are in a situation for the moment where tourism is getting a hard hit, and the hybrid thinking and the way we're dealing with this for the moment is quite important, I think, because, for instance, the ASI office production line in outside of Innsbruck is, of course, one of these office buildings which are quite hybrid, which deals with the environment, which deals with environmental sustainability just as much as it is dealing with the people using it in the interior. Everything from material to light to even furniture racks and how these things and semi-transparency and porosity and how these things works expands this office space to become more than just a place of work, but it's a place for social mingling, and it's a place for where you want things to happen beyond your practical work. Another example could be this restaurant called Under on the southern coast of Norway, where the building itself also becomes hybrid and dives from above water to underwater into the environment under sea. And you will see all of a sudden you have a totally different relationship but to the underwater atmosphere and to the underwater landscape. But this restaurant is not only a restaurant, it's a marine biological research center at the same time. And because of this stable window, we have discovered new jellyfish, 3 types of new jellyfish. It is the place along the coast where you can measure the temperature differences and you can see the difference in growth when we talk about climate. So all these things come together in very different ways, and public accessibility and public ownership starts becoming one of the drivers. You can even do it in office spaces, like here with our new Le Monde office in Paris. And shortly after the Charlie Hebdo attacks, we won this competition after conversation with Pierre Berger, who was the owner at the time, saying he wanted an open, accessible media house where the public and the employees of Le Monde could meet, where they could exchange ideas. That's why this huge entrance plaza under the building, bridging the public space, became such an attractive way of thinking about Le Monde. As you move through the interiors where you share space, you look at the things where you're sitting, you have the hot desks where people and employees meet, and you come into a situation up on the roof where you still then have the view over Paris. But it could also be with an expanded scope, like here, the new powerhouse in Telemark in Norway, which is a CO2 neutral building over a period of 60 years, including all embodied energies in transport, material production, and recycling of the building afterwards. It's this kind of dark shadow following you all over, but at the same time, it is a very efficient and effective tool for choosing materials, shading, and understanding how you deal with the future when it comes to these type of things. So finally, I just wanted to get back to say, where is the industry here in this picture? What can the industry do? At the very end of our production lines worldwide, the industry, I feel, only with some few partnerships around the world, has had the capacity of moving into this understanding of social sustainability and their contribution to their local environment. Now, I have 4 examples very quickly. One is a furniture producer, outdoor furniture producer in Norway. We designed this factory by using the material that was left over in the production of the furniture. But at the same time, it became a little bit like the understanding of how production lines, when you actually produce a product, how you interact with your clients, with the public, with your partners in that space. That space, the production space in itself, is not separated from the other activities. And to this end, of course, there is no basic limit to how much you can open up or how much you can show to everyone you're dealing with on an everyday basis. So that ended up with, of course, Vestre delivering the furniture for Times Square, outdoor furniture, or into a product like this one, which is called the Peace Bench for the UN in New York. And you will see that this bench doesn't have a horizontal line because we want everyone to slide together in the middle along this curve. And make no mistake, industry is culture. And industry and production lines are deeply embedded in our communal understanding of the things that we surround ourselves with. So why shouldn't the production area, the production place, also do the same? like here for the Zumtobel, for the Swarovski building in Wattens, where all of a sudden the production place where you actually produce things becomes also a cultural house, becomes a meeting place for designers, for customers, for visitors. And all of a sudden this one unified space is also hybrid, is doing all the things that you want the space to do with no differentiation between production and social mingling. So all these things come together in architecture, because architecture is a tool which generates space and which gives you the possibility of setting a sign of where you want to go. It gives you the possibilities of physically saying, I would like you to meet here. Like here for the fishing industry, all the way up in the north, becoming one of these solid cornerstones of a small local community. And they are saying, look, by the way, I'm here. I would like you to come and see me. I would like you to come and visit me. I would like you to see what we're doing. I would like to include you in our production line. I would like to show you how valuable our fish is in relationship to you as a user or as someone dining. So all these places in factories are changing. All the things that we're thinking that factories and production areas might be are definitely changing, which leads me to our long-standing relationship with Zumtobel. You know, we did Living the Nordic Light, the yearly and the year-end annual report in 2013-14, and we just interviewed for people over 100 years old living north of the polar circle, for us to understand how they experience this light in the north. And that led us to believe that Zumtobel and Snøhetta have so many things in common when we talk about these things. We can have an intellectual conversation with a lighting design, with a light producer, understanding exactly that you do need to see the stars at night. The invisible is important. And that's why this space has been created as a starting point for Zumtobel's interaction with Dornbirn, with its local community. Today, factories are clean. We don't need to locate them anymore on greenfield sites far outside our villages and cities. We should bring them back into the city. We should involve the people in our decision making when it comes to location of these production lines, because all our efforts as humans at some point ends up as something, a thing, something that is tangible. Even though you might just be on the way during the production line of this and be a smaller part of the final product, everything at a certain point ends up as a knife, as a fork, as a computer, as a table, as something tangible. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. So to that end, I'm so happy that we've started the Lightform possibility and that you're actually opening this today. But we're also looking into the future where the whole of the Zumtobel production line and interaction with Dornbirn will move step by step into a larger campus area. And all of a sudden, you gather knowledge, culture, and production to the benefit of Dornbirn, the public, and of course, all the visitors who are coming to enjoy this place as part of an urban structure. Thank you very much. That was it.
Thank you very much, Kjetil. Extremely inspiring talk. Thank you for sharing all these nice places, what you have designed. And I think it was a very clear message what you mean under social sustainability. When you were showing this video on the Oslo Museum with the bike, now I'm a little bit afraid if we open now the forum to the public, whether in winters we have skiers on the roof and in summer bike riders, but we will be able to deal with it.
I'm sure you will. you know, they will be your people.
Absolutely. And
from
that
that
brings me
moment
to
on,
one
they will
question.
belong
It's a
to you
little bit
forever.
difficult that the audience asks questions, but I think I like very much that what you also showed in the US, or what you showed in the example of Alexandria Library. What do you think that we could do as the next steps? You showed a little bit the concept of the entire campus to bring, to give space back to the public. We are a small city here in Dornbirn. Thanks to your inspirations, we fully support and understand that we want to open this to the public. But in your experience, it shows that the people are fighting for their buildings, there are people that are protecting that, what is their knowledge place. What would your recommendation to us, how we can orchestrate this in a professional way also here in Dornbirn?
I think it's a continuous dialogue between you and the city. Nothing happens simply by imposing it. So I think both bottom-up and top-down processes are extremely important when it comes to how to make understanding and knowledge develop into the future. So the value of Zumtobel located within Dornbirn is maybe greater for Dornbirn than it is for Zumtobel, but it is rather the exchange between the two that will give you the long-term advantage. So again, of course, we're protecting our current situations, and that's only very natural and very human to do. But in order to change things, we have to push certain boundaries that we believe we have today and try other things. And especially for a company like Zumtobel, it is important for you to show that you are part of the value that Dornbirn is actually creating.
Thank you, Kjetil. And also the last one on the industry, I think also here we have a lot of ideas, and with the continuous relationship with you, how we can have a more integral view on that, what we produce, identifying with the people. I think we have moved the industry back into the city. We did not choose a greenfield approach, also thanks to your recommendation, and that's really great. Kjetil, I'm looking forward to the next project with you. Thank you so much for joining. I wish you all the best, and most importantly, in times like this, a good health and stay healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah, dear customers, dear clients and partners and employees, that brings me to the last part of today's opening. I hope we could get you an impression what we have here, what jewel we have created, where we demonstrate and show the life, but also with that what Kjetil just mentioned right now, we have a strong belief that opening up to the public, opening up to the interaction with you, hopefully then also in combination with physical visits, with exchanging ideas on site, we will bring new things into the world. But we want to do more, and to do more, I would like to share with you what our next steps will be. We will continue with the keynote speeches. The next one will be done by Professor Werner Sobeck, who created last year's report with sharing his 17 theses on sustainability. Sustainability, what becomes every day more important to our daily life, but also to our industry. We will combine it with sharing with you the next virtual tour into the famous world of outdoor, where we are sharing with you the products where we were able to share only one, and that's in combination with the keynote for December 3rd. And I'm also very happy already to announce Harald Gründel also a partner who is having with us, so we're having with him a long-term relationship, will do the next keynote speech on 28th of January. And I would also like to create your appetite, because then we combine it with our solutions, with our emotion in light in the retail segment. It was already mentioned by the colleagues that we are having a lot of different seminars. And those seminars you can see on our landing page. Please have a look. There's much more to come and much more in there for you. So with that, I would like to say thank you to all. I wish you a very nice day. Stay healthy. Don't leave immediately, because we have one more emotion to share with you regarding our Light Forum here, just to take it with you and let inspire you for the new things, what comes to life the next days and the next week. Thank you very much for attending.